Hey guys, Kim from Veteran Screen Printing. Today we're going to go over 10 things that when you first start in the screen printing industry that you should not do. But first we're going to roll that intro and then we're going to dive into it. Alright guys, so today we're going to go over the 10 things that I see or hear, and also some things that I've done personally here in our business that you definitely do not want to do when you first start in screen printing. So the first thing is not registering your business in the very beginning. Because if you don't register it with the seller's permit, depending on what state you're from, you're not gonna be able to get wholesale shirt blanks or hoodies or whatever you're printing on. So you're going to be paying full price and you're not going to really be able to mark those up to your customers. So definitely register your business. Step 2 or number 2 would be trying to get too big too quickly. A lot of times I see people trying to go out and purchase and get loans for equipment, and now they can't pay it, or because you're first starting off. Don't go out and try to get too big too quickly. We just moved into this shop almost a year ago, and this is our 3rd year in business. In the first 2 years, year 1 or 6 months in, we were in a 7x7 shed, and then from that moving on, we went to a 10x20 carport at our house, and we started very slowly. When I first started, we had a 1-station 4-color press with a heat gun for flashing, and then a heat press to cure. Then I found the press that you see behind me on Craigslist, and I got it for $500 or $550. It's a 6-color 4-station, and I got a flash dryer with it. There are deals out there, guys, that won't break the bank and allow you to provide better quality items. So definitely take a look at those. You don't always need to go get a brand new piece of equipment and get a loan for it. Don't try to get too big too quickly. That's number 2. Number 3 is something that I was actually an issue with, and number 3 is not taking a deposit or a payment in full when you first start. Okay, and the reason why I say that is if you take a deposit, it allows for you to pay for your garments, because guess what, when you print those garments, those are the only people that are going to want those are for that person. Especially if it's a reunion, say it's the Green family reunion, guess what, only people with the last name Green is going to want those. So, and especially if there's names on them, first names. So but you also have to be very cautious with this, as well as with the 50% down, because if you don't mark up your garments enough, okay, like for instance, I had a real massive order with the military. Now I know the military is going to pay because, one, it's the military, right? But their hoodies, just my cost for hoodies was $1,000. Okay, they had ordered a lot of hoodies, and they ordered really good hoodies. The thing is, all those other garments, because this was a big order, all those other garments were fairly cheap. Maybe $5 for the shorts, and maybe $10 for the polos, and maybe $6 or $3 for the shirt. But when they have so much, and those hoodies cost so much, when you do the 50%, it actually broke even and only covered the garments. It didn't cover any of your labor. So then, on top of that, if you have employees because you try to get too big too quickly, or even yourself, you're going to be stuck on this order, and you're not going to actually have any money for the business because you just paid for all those hoodies. So if they weren't, say, the military, and you printed them and they didn't pay you, well, guess what? You didn't make no money, and you just pretty much spent a lot of money for no reason. So sometimes it might be good to take full payments. Just depends on how you're going to go about it. Number two is not having enough experience. If somebody's wanting a certain thing, and if you've never printed it, if you're not having enough experience with that, you could run through and the customer's not going to be happy. It's not going to, turn out the way that they expected. Or what I've seen also is, people having a 4-color 4-station and the customer wants, say, a 5-color. All right. And they've never had an experience of maybe, doing 2 colors on one screen. Okay. But if you're not having enough experience, I definitely recommend print some stuff for you in the very beginning. Spend a couple $100, grab some crappy t-shirts and print different designs to get your technique up. Okay? Or start with friends and family asking who needs shirts. That's a good way for you to build your experience. So we're going to move on to number 3. Number 3 is not charging to make a profit. Know what you're worth. Okay? I see so many people on Craigslist, and I seen actually over here in Oceanside, California. I was getting off the on-ramp, and they had a little sign next to the freeway that you put in the ground, $2 screen printing shirts. There ain't no way in heck you're gonna make that. You're not gonna make any money on that. All right, $2. The shirt at it's probably the least you're gonna find a shirt is maybe $1.50. But again, you have to be registered to get that. I mean, there are places in LA where you can actually get shirts, the 5 for $10 or whatever. Or there's different, different ones out there. But again, not charging enough is not just hurting you, but it's also hurting the industry. Don't try to undercut and keep on undercutting, because not just you're undercutting, but you're not going to make enough profit, and you're going to go out of business very, very quickly. If you don't charge the right amount, you're not going to be able to grow. And if you can't grow, it's not going to be worth it for you, and you're going to realize it, and you're just going to go out of business because you're going to close it. So definitely know what you're worth and charge enough to make a profit. Everybody does it. Everybody charges and marks up their blanks, especially if they're getting them at wholesale, and then find your reasonable price. Different areas of this country and different cities actually charge different. If I told you my prices, they might be way less than what you would be charging in, say, Michigan or Texas. Okay? What you need to do is go around and call and act like you're placing an order with screen print shops and get a quote from them. Then you can determine on what you're going to be charging your customers. Okay, because you don't want to be overcharging them, but you don't want to be undercharging them, because in the undercharging, it's just going to hurt you, and you're also hurting the screen printing industry in your area. Number 4 is not being prepared. Okay, if you're not prepared for a certain job, if you don't have the ink, if you don't have the motion, if you don't have enough screens, not being prepared for a job makes you look bad. It's only happened to me once, and it was because I just was going through so much ink for this project. It was a real big order, and for some reason, ink was just going through very quickly. And of course, I print at night or on the weekends, and I started this order at night on a Friday. And time Saturday come, I realized I was not going to have enough ink, and I wasn't able to get ink until Tuesday, because Monday was actually a holiday. So it really sucked. It made me look bad, per se, maybe a little bit, but I always get my jobs done, and I like to start them and try to get them done and accomplished. I tell people 12 business days, but I normally get them done in 3 to 5, just because I want to make sure they're done, out of the way, move on to the next one. So don't procrastinate, and make sure you prepare for the job. I live by 6 P's, and this is from the military. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. If you properly plan, guess what? Your performance is going to be tip top, and it's not going to be in the gutter. So make sure you properly plan and being prepared. Number 5 is not having approvals or contracts in place with your customer. One of the big things is making sure you get approvals signed via text, via email. Make sure you send a mock-up to your customers so you get an approval of what it's going to turn out to be looking like when you give it to them. You don't want to, say, all right, cool, we'll get this done for you. Don't give them approval, get an approval and you print it, and say you print 50 shirts, and guess what? That's not how they thought it would look, and they don't like it. All right, now you're going to have to go above and beyond and help that customer so they were a returning customer. All right, if you hit it from the very beginning, get an approval or a contract, you're always going to be in a better standing, and that's where you could get software management if you're too small. A lot of software management for printing companies are expensive, but there are some that are pretty cheap. We're going to make a video and do a we're going to give you our opinion and our thoughts on a printing software that we use, and tell you the truth, I love it, and for the price you can't beat it. So we're going to give you a little sneak peek on the next video of what we use for our printing management software. Alright, next one we're going to go into is don't think you always know everything. Every day should be trying to learn something with printing. If it's from learning how to do water base, halftones, even just watching YouTube on other printers. I still watch, even though I have a shop and we're doing, pretty good. I still watch all the other screen printers, from Cam over at the Print Life to Taino Ink, probably messed that up, from New York. Mikey from Mikey Designs, Matt over there, and I watch them all, and I don't know them personally. I've talked to Cam actually a couple times on the phone, and we messaged back and forth, but there's certain printers out there that you definitely want to pick their brain. A lot of times, depending on some of these group chats, I see, screen printers trying to, deter it, young screen printers that don't know nothing bad. That's why we made this channel. We want to help you guys grow and show this still can exist. So, we don't really get nothing out of this. We're not sponsored by anybody. And everything product review you see us do, we buy. We have not received anything from anybody. So, this channel is just for you guys, to help you guys through this process. All right. Next thing is moving on to the next one, is taking orders that you can't complete. All right. I've only done this once, but I did it for a reason, because I couldn't complete the order, but I knew I had somebody that could. All right. There was a time where there was not a big order, but it was a lot of colors, and there was no way in heck I could print it. I knew that. I didn't know how to do it. I lacked the experience, but I knew the person that I was going to hire, that he could do it. I knew he could, because when I owned my clothing line, he used to be my printer. So yeah, it sucked because I had to drive an hour away to, hour and a half away to go give him the merchandise. I still made money on the project, and I kept my customer happy. And when my customer's happy, they're going to come back and keep on using me to print. So if you're going to take an order that you can't complete, make sure you have a backup. If you take it and you can't complete it, and you hand out crappy, quality stuff, that customer is going to let everybody know, and they won't be back. On top of that, word travels fast that you're crappy, you're going to lose a lot of business. So don't do that. If you can't complete it, don't take it. Just let them know, hey, this is something that that is not our expertise, and maybe recommend somebody else, or be truthful with them, saying, hey, I don't know nobody else, but this is something we can't do. Maybe see if they want to drop a couple colors down, or maybe not use halftones, or start something. But the last one that we're going to say, number 10, is not starting. That's the biggest one. If you don't start, you can never, don't look back and say, oh, I wish I should have done that. Start. I started in a 7x7 shed in my driveway. All right, I found a press for $200 on Craigslist. I bought a heat gun for $15 at Walmart or Home Depot, and I bought a Amazon press for $150. All right, start. That's the main thing in this industry, is just to start. You're gonna mess up a lot when you first start. Don't get discouraged. It all happens to all of us at one point. Just start. Keep practicing. Keep practicing. Keep practicing. They always say when you're going through sports, practice makes perfect, right? When I was in the military and there was nothing to do, my NCOs would make us do dry runs with our rifles. Hold the rifles up with one hand and make us sit there and change magazines numerous times. Because if it became muscle memory, then it became, you become faster and faster and faster. So when you're loading shirts, when you first started, they're going to be crooked. I promise you. They will be crooked. And you're going to print them. And then you're going to realize when you're done, dang, that's crooked. But if you don't start, you'll never, ever get to that point. So, again, number 10 is not starting. If you don't start, you're never going to make it. All right, that's our 10 tips or 10 things that when you first begin screen printing that you shouldn't do. If you guys like this, please let us know. We're going to start trying to drop more videos. We're also going to start doing product reviews as well. Again, we're going to be buying some products and we're going to be reviewing them. So please let us know if you want to see something or a product. Maybe we already have it and maybe we'll be able to do it for you quicker than normal. But if you guys want to see something, let us know in the comments or send us an email at info@veteranscreenprinting.com. If you guys are looking for a screen printer, we do print and we do ship out across the country. We printed for tons of customers and we do ship out all across the country. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're only a couple away from 1,000 subs, so please subscribe if you haven't. If you found this helpful, please share it, please like it, and please keep coming back for free knowledge. We don't charge, so just come back and show us some love by hitting a thumbs up. That's it. But until next time, be safe and have fun.